Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely morning, afternoon or evening wherever you guys are in the world. It has been a very long time since I picked up the camera, and I know I have not been on my social channels or anything recently. The last 9 months have been a bit chaotic, but I'm back. I feel like now is the right time to start posting on my channels again, and I feel the creative spark within me growing stronger and stronger each day. So I wanted to come back. I feel like today is such a great day to kind of slowly get myself back into filming. So we are going to spend the afternoon together. I have a few things that I'd like to do. I feel like I should give you guys a little bit of a room tour as well, because if you aren't new here, you might see that my room is slightly different. Basically, long story short, the last 9 months I had to move out of my family house, move into my neighbor's house, and that was because we were doing a renovation project on our house. I quite literally could not be in my room, so I had to move out. I think I moved out for about 7 months, and within that time frame I also decided to quit my job, start my own business. I also traveled to Australia for 6 weeks with my boyfriend, so there will be some little like Australia vlogs coming here and there. I just haven't sat down to edit them yet. We've had Christmas, we've had New Year's, and we had friends staying around over New Year's, and I feel like I just needed January to try and get back into a routine and just to try and get my life back together, because I only just got back from Australia in time for Christmas, and all of my belongings were in a storage unit and everything is slowly coming back. So February is the start of my new year, and it's actually the start of a new mini series I'm doing on my Instagram and my TikTok. It's called Offline on Purpose, where I'm trying to put my damn phone down. This is attached to my hip, I swear. So I've started a new mini series on TikTok and Instagram where I'm basically just going to put my phone down and try new hobbies and do hobbies that I loved to do as a kid, and just try to enjoy life without having to be on a screen constantly. I feel like I've rambled on for a little bit. It's chucking it down, so we're not going to go outside and do anything today. I don't think Daisy is gonna want to go outside. Oh my gosh, Daisy, we have a puppy. I'm gonna show you Daisy. She is our little puppy. She's a miniature dachshund. She's absolutely gorgeous. Anyways, back to it. I'm gonna hopefully try and read the rest of my book. I think I have about 40-ish pages left of Lightlark. I'm trying to read a lot more this year. I didn't really read a lot last year. Kind of upsetting, but also I had such a busy and chaotic year, and I did so many things last year that I didn't think I'd ever do. This year I've set a reading goal of 12 books for the year, 1 a month. I'm not going to put too much pressure and too much stress on me for that. Do have to get my brother in about an hour from school, so we'll just see where the next hour takes us. I'll give you guys a quick little room tour as well. This is what you see when you walk into my room. So my bed has actually been in the same position since I moved into this room, so this is kind of similar if you guys have been here before, but I actually have some bedside tables now, which I never had before. So I've just got 2 of them. They're from IKEA. I can't remember what they're called, but they're actually really cool and they match my wardrobes. And then this is the other bedside table here. I actually was not a fan of this radiator when we were on about which radiators we were going to get, but I actually love it. It feels like a feature in my room. And then right next to it is my pride and joy. It's my bookshelf. I finally have aesthetic looking bookshelves. If you guys remember, I had a ladder shelf, which was great. However, it was tiny. I couldn't really get all of my books on it, and I also was like double stacking books, so you couldn't really see anything. Minus a few books here, I have all of my like young adult books. On my next shelf here, I have all of my Harry Potter collection. So I do actually have a few first editions here, and I think a few of them have like misprints. And then on this shelf here, this is my Sarah J Maas shelf, if you couldn't tell. So I have ACOTAR, I have Throne of Glass, which I need to read this year. I think I might actually talk you guys through some of the books that I'd love to read as well this year. And then I've got Crescent City here as well. And then on the next shelf, I have my Hunger Games book. This is the illustrated version. It's absolutely stunning. And then I have the rest of my fantasy books. Fantasy is my favorite genre, if you guys could not tell. This shelf is a bit of a mix. So I just have like a few big authors. So a few big like romance authors like Elsie Silver. I've got Liz Tomford with a few of the Windy City books. I've also got a few Ali Hazelwood books there, which I've only read one of them and I really need to read, The Love Hypothesis. Then I have some Emily Henry books, which I'm yet to read. I have some of the Summer I Turned Pretty books. And then this shelf is kind of just everything else. So I have a few Christmas books at the bottom. Then I have some more romance books, some books from Abby Jimenez, Binding 13, Beartown. And I also have the Off-Campus series down here as well. And a few Frida McFadden books. My bookshelves are still a work in progress. progress. I'm thinking about getting another bookshelf as well because I am actually double stacking books here and there's a bunch more books down here. I don't know if you can see them. So I don't know if I'm going to put them on my shelves, which I'm going to get put up, or if I'm just going to get another little bookcase to go underneath my window. Then over here I have my desk. So I just have like my business cards. I have my makeup in this drawer and then more businessy bits in the other drawer. One of my best friends, Debbie, she's actually got this chair in her salon. She's a beauty therapist. I absolutely fell in love with it, so I did get it for Christmas. Eventually above my desk I will have some shelves. I think they're actually on top of my wardrobes at the moment, but we're going to put some shelves here. This is the view from my desk. I have my wardrobes here. These are the IKEA Pax wardrobes that you can build yourself. So for example, I'll just show you guys inside one of them. I have a hanging rail and then I have somewhere for my shoes, and then I just have a few drawers and a few baskets. So my bedroom actually used to come up to here, and I had an eave that kind of went up here, but I actually have an added addition, which is my own ensuite. I didn't realize just how much I needed my own space and my own bathroom. I've been sharing a bathroom with my brother and my sister and her boyfriend for years now. Absolutely love it. I could not be more grateful for what my parents have done for us. So here's my sink and then my mirror, and one of the best things about this mirror is it lights up. It's stunning. And then when you open it, it's got a shelf. There's also another mirror inside, and I can actually charge my toothbrush. And then if you turn it this way, this is my shower. I've just used my TBR cart. If you've seen this before, this is where I used to put all of the books that I was gonna read for the month, but I've just popped it in here. It's kind of, it looks a bit sparse at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it in here or if I'm gonna put some books in it and put it back in my room. I still haven't decided, but it's just here for now whilst I decide what I'm gonna do. So behind my door, I just have my towel rail, and then I have my cheese plant. My cheese plant was in my room. It didn't really like the corner it was in, and there wasn't really anywhere else for it to go. So it's here at the moment. I also don't know if I should get something here. So I have this like ledge above my toilet, which I love. I just put spare toilet roll, favorite perfumes, there's a plant there as well. And I don't know whether I should put like a photo frame or something here. That is my bathroom. And then this is as it leads back into my bedroom. My bedroom looks so nice in this light, but sometimes the camera catches it and it makes it look extremely dark. But right now, this is actually what it looks like, and I love it. I think it's so nice. I'm gonna grab some lunch and read some of my book. Then I'll just talk you guys through some of the books that I really, really want to read. You've seen my bookshelves now, and me and you both know I have not read every single book on that bookshelf. So I do have a lot of reading to get through this year. Welcome to our new kitchen. It is absolutely stunning. I have been baking and cooking literally whenever I can, so I'm gonna heat up some soup for lunch. I think the kitchen is what had the most dramatic change. If you saw my videos before, it was very like old-fashioned, old wood, and now it's very much like modernized, very white, very clean, and it's just stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the Aldi soups. This is the, I think it's the roast chicken and vegetable soup. The Aldi soups are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. Moving on from soups, I want to change my hair up. I feel like my hair is about 10 different colors. I haven't really done anything to it. I think I dyed it before I went to Australia. I box dyed it and it was kind of a bit of a bodge job, so I want to do something to it. I'm not really sure. Don't know if I should go a little bit darker or if I should like go a little bit more reddy toned, because my hair has got quite a lot of red tones in it, so I'm not really sure. Or do I go for a balayage, because I did nearly get a balayage about 3 months ago, so not really sure what I should do, but I should probably get the bread ready. I forgot to tell you guys that I'm trying to make sourdough. However, my sourdough starter died. I fed it for 6 days and I left it on the windowsill. I forgot to put it back in here, and I woke up the next morning and it was drowning in water because of the condensation. So I'm starting again. I believe that's the one I've just started, and this is the old one that I'm seeing if I can save. So fingers crossed we'll have some sourdough coming soon. Hi Daisy, hello. Say hi to the vlog. Oh, say hi. Yeah. I've just got back from picking up my brother and we had to pop to the shop, so I did run into Tesco and I did get a few little bits, and I was hoping I was going to catch the last of the Natural Light, and I feel like we just have. The evenings are definitely getting a lot lighter, so I'm so happy about that because my room only really gets nice light for a few hours in the winter, and it's made it extremely difficult to film because I don't like using ring lights or studio lights or anything like that. So I love my natural light and it's just been so hard to actually really film. But I thought I would talk you guys through my 2026 TBR, as I have a few books on here that you guys might be of interest of, you might not really care much about, but these are some of the books that are on my radar and some of the books that I would love to read this year. This is like a mental TBR, by the way, like I'm just throwing some books out. Let's start with fantasy. I of course really want to read the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. I have got the books on my bookshelf, as you guys have seen. It's a series that I've been wanting to read for so long. However, where last year was just all over the place, it was not the right time to pick up a 7 or 8 book series, fantasy series, and try to read that and get the best reading experience, because 9 times out of 10 I feel like my reading experience also contributes to the overall rating that I give to a book. So I wanted to make sure I'm just back in my safe space. I will be starting with The Assassin's Blade. I know it's very controversial, however I've heard it's also quite essential, and I'll hopefully bring you guys along with that, either a reading vlog or maybe even on my TikTok or my Instagram. Alchemized is also one of the big books that I would love to read this year. That's by Sen Yu. I actually picked up my version of the book in Australia. I bought it because Australian books are very like floppy. I think it's more like a gothic fantasy as well, so that would be really cool. I've never read anything by Sen Yu as well, so I'm excited for that. We've also got Metal Slinger. Again, I bought that in Australia. I felt like the flop, I'm gonna have to get it. Like, the books out there are so much nicer. I hope it's Rebecca Snyder. If not, apologies. Again, it's a high fantasy. I just have a thing for fantasy books at the moment. I feel like because I haven't read many fantasy books in the last year, I kind of read all of the fantasy books I wanted to in 2024. Didn't really read a lot of fantasy in 2025, so I feel like 2026 is for the fantasy girlies and the fantasy lover within me. We also have Nightbane by Alex Aster. I'm currently reading Lightlark. I've been trying to finish Lightlark for the last week and a half. That's why I want to do some reading tonight, so I'm definitely going to include some reading in this vlog somewhere. I have really enjoyed Lightlark and I've really enjoyed the concept of it. I like how it's a young adult, however it's still got the fantasy element to it, but it's not too overwhelming with fantasy. I feel like I needed something that was just going to like dip back into a fantasy world for me, so I didn't have to think too much, but I could also get back into that genre. But I'm really enjoying Lightlark, so hopefully I can read Nightbane. I think there's also Skyshade, Crown Tide. I know there's definitely a book on the male main characters in the book. I would also love to read Heavenly Bodies. I think the author's name is Amani. I can't remember what her full name is. I will pop it on the screen. I have seen and heard so many good things about Heavenly Bodies, and I feel like I just want to be able to understand and know what everybody's on about. That's all of the fantasy books that are on my mental TBR. Let's move on to romance. I would love to read The Love Hypothesis this year by Ali Hazelwood. That's on my bookshelf. I also have, I think it's Unproblematic Summer. I would like to read more of Ali Hazelwood. She was one of the authors that I read last year that got me out of my reading slump. Then we've got the Windy City series. I'd love to start that series at some point. We've also got, I can't really think of many other romances, but if we're moving on to like contemporary fiction books, I really want to read Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I also would love to read more by Frederick Backman as well. I read Beartown last year, really enjoyed that, so I would love to read, I think it's Us Against You, I think that's the next one, and then The Winners, and I think also he's got My Friends, I think that's what it's called. I absolutely adored his writing style. I'd also love to read The Wedding People as well. That's one that's kind of like crept up onto my list. I wasn't really interested in it, but Donatella Butt, she has been reading it on her honeymoon, and I really want to read it now, so thank you, Donatella. I'd also love to read a classic book. I'd love to read Wuthering Heights. I was going to try and read it before it came out in cinema, but I think it comes out next week or the week after, so I might try and read it or maybe read it afterwards. The trailer sold me. I'm hoping I really enjoy the book. I haven't read a classic book in so long, so who knows if we're gonna like it or not. I also would love to read Binding 13. I've had that on my bookshelf for years. I could go on and on and on about all the books that I'd like to read, but those are the ones that are like on my mental TBR list. Anyways, my camera's flashing. I think I'm gonna head over to Owen's for a little bit and then I will come back later and we can do some reading.